Apparently, some Tesla employees are uncomfortable with the pace of Autopilot development, and the Pikes Peak Model S has potentially been abandoned. We've got another slow one today, but at least we have the Gigafactory grand opening event tomorrow. Here are your Tesla tidbits for July 28th, 2016. Thanks again to Electrek for both of today's stories. Autopilot is blazing a trail to our autonomous driving future, but apparently some Tesla employees are less than comfortable with its pace. Recently, CNN published a story of 5 such employees and their concerns with the pace. Among the stories included an engineer being pulled over on suspicion of driving while intoxicated while testing the feature a few months before release. He knew he was, quote, pushing the limits, quote, of the feature, end quote, of the feature, but he assumed customers would do the same, which worried him. Another recounted Elon's reaction after being told that the parking sensors could not detect something as small as a cat. He said that with as slow as the car moved in that mode, it would only be dangerous to, quote, a comatose cat, end quote. The motto of the Autopilot team is to, quote, not to let the perfect be the enemy of the better, end quote. In any case where there is a concern with the system, the engineers must show hard data to back their assertions in order to convince Elon and other Autopilot execs of anything. Lastly, we go back to the Pikes Peak Challenge story from a while back. In an odd story today, we find out that the Model S driven by Blake Fuller has been sitting at a supercharger stall for weeks. Electrek reached out to Fuller via Twitter and Publicis to figure out why the record-breaking car is just hanging out at the Colorado Springs supercharger, but their requests went unanswered. Luckily, this supercharger is not generally busy, and this isn't costing anyone a space, but still, inquiring minds want to know why a record-holding car simply sits in a garage in Colorado Springs. Check out the show description for links to the full stories from the show. If you get value from the show, please consider supporting the podcast at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. All support will go directly to my Model 3 fund, and even a quarter per month would be very much appreciated. Especially if 2,000 of you gave me a quarter a month. But I digress. So thanks so much to my super patron John Walthour for his support. His pledge of $10 or more each month continues to get him this shout out each episode. If you have nothing extra to kick my way though, it's no problem. You can still continue to show your support with positive reviews, likes, and subscriptions on your favorite media services, and by spreading the word of the show to other Tesla lovers. If you have questions or feedback for me, you can reach me via email by messaging podcast@teslatidbits.com or on Twitter @TeslaTidbits. That's it for today. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.